The challenge to our guys is to handle the psychology of success, continue to stay grounded, continue to do the things you need to do to keep moving forward. That statement right there from head coach Mike Elko from a couple weeks back simply summarizes this A&M football team this year. They've been able to find success early. They got out to a hot start 4-0 for the first time since 2016. Now the challenge is to find a way to sustain that success and what it looks like. Howdy, howdy, fans of the 12th man. Welcome into this Above the Yell episode. I am your host, Weston Pope. In this episode, I will give my prediction and my insight into this matchup that is set for Saturday night at Kyle Field. It is Operation Blackout, one of my favorite, has become one of my favorite games, one of my favorite alternate uniforms for this A&M squad, and it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited, looking forward to it, and yeah, guys, I have to humbly say thank you. This last episode, the episode before this, had the highest views to date. Subscribers of the channel continue to climb, continue to increase. So humbly, I just say thank you. Thank you for supporting a guy who is simply just chasing his dream and using this platform as an outlet to talk about something that I love and something that I am very passionate about. So please continue to like and subscribe, comment, and I plan to keep this thing rolling. So thank you for the support. There's reason to believe that this Mississippi State team can come in and win this game, or at least make it a four-quarter battle for A&M. Mississippi State, they're coming off a heartbreaking overtime loss to the Tennessee Volunteers from last Saturday, so they're down on the mat a little bit. The question is, will they get back up, and what will that look like? They were able to keep that Tennessee game close because they were able to capitalize on Tennessee's turnovers. And Mississippi State, they come in toting a couple of really good running backs and a good wide receiver room and a veteran quarterback in Blake Shapen. They have Fluff Bothwell, he's their leading running back, transferred in, and Davin Booth. Bothwell leads the group with 405 yards on 70 carries, which comes out to about an average nearly of 6 yards per carry. So Bothwell has been really talented. I believe he transferred in from a G5 program, and his talent, his ability has translated really well so far into higher competition. He's been a large piece. Bothwell has been a large piece of the spread style offense. And it seems like they like to establish the run, to set up the deep shots and try to stretch the field on you. So this A&M defense, I know they're coming off of a big time performance from last Saturday, their best performance of the year, and they're going to have to bring it again this Saturday. And so, and in terms of stretching the field, Mississippi State has the ability to do it. They have some serious speed, and wide receiver Brennan Thompson and Anthony Evans. Both of these guys, they're not large frame guys. I believe both of them are under 6 foot, but they are very quick off the line of scrimmage. They're very fast, and they can catch you sleeping if you are not locked in, and they can easily blow past you and pick up some chunk yardage. And so, yeah, Thompson, the Mississippi State wide receiver, leads the group with 324 yards and 3 touchdowns. And simply, how does Mississippi State win? What does it look like if they are in the fourth quarter, keeping this game competitive? I think it simply comes off the back of being able to move the ball on the ground with Bothwell, setting up their passing game to take some shots. Blake Shapen is going to have to land on some of those shots. A&M's defense, Des Ricks at corner, Will Lee, both those guys will have their hands full, I expect, Saturday night, so they will have to bring their A game. And then Mississippi State, they are one of the most penalized teams in the conference in order to come into a tough environment like Kyle Field, especially on a Saturday night. If you expect to come out of there with a win, you have to limit your penalties. And then Mississippi State, they got to produce turnovers. Mississippi State defensively, they have a really, really talented secondary. It's a secondary that has been great at locking up offenses through the air, and they've been able to hold teams to only 189 yards passing per game and a completion rate below 60%. However, 3 of their games have come against inferior competition, but they did hold Arizona State to just 82 passing yards and forced quarterback Sam Leavitt to one of the worst games of his career. So if Marcel Reed is having a rough evening, that Mississippi State secondary has the ability to make it even rougher. So yeah, Mississippi State, if they want to win, which they totally, I mean they really could. This team is not the same Mississippi State team that went 0-8 last year in conference. They went 2-10 on the season. Jeff Lebby has done about as good a job as you can ask there at that program, especially in year 2. He's fielded a motivated and complementary football team so far this season, and yeah, he's put together a good squad that can beat, I believe, any SEC team on any given Saturday. And they'll certainly be looking to do that. They're going to be motivated, trying to knock off number 6 A&M. For A&M, switching gears, A&M 4-0 for the first time since 2016. 1-0 in the conference after their win against Auburn last Saturday. A lot to take away from that game, but going into this game, A&M offensively has to find their fastball again. It was a pretty uncharacteristic day last Saturday, but the A&M defense was able to pull through. The thing about this A&M team that I've noticed is they haven't really played a complete game. For the first 3 games of the season against UTSA, Utah State, and Notre Dame, the offense was lights out. They were able to light up the scoreboard. They were able to keep up with Notre Dame on the road, and they were able to score enough points in that game to simply win. And then you get to Auburn last Saturday, and you see a totally different offense. Now, say that with a grain of salt because Le'Veon Moss had his breakout game of the season last Saturday, and much of their offensive production came off of his back. So yeah, he had a phenomenal game, but there were still a lot of points to be had in that game. It was quite a bit a different offense than what we've seen in the first 3 games. And yeah, A&M has to find a way to get back in the groove, get into rhythm. Much of last Saturday's issues stemmed from penalties, very frustrating penalties that basically killed drives. A&M was not able to sustain a drive or get in rhythm because of those penalties. And yeah, for A&M, they have to limit those penalties this week, this Saturday, because you're simply not going to win very many games. I believe they had 13 penalties for 110 plus yards last Saturday. That's over an entire football field. Got to limit those. Got to clean up those mistakes. And yeah, get back to the ground game. Obviously, Moss is very talented. We all knew this. I think A&M has the ability and the potential to run over this Mississippi State defensive line. Their rush defense has not been very good so far this year. Their strong suit on that side of the ball is simply their secondary. So Mario Craver, Concepcion, and Reed, they're going to have to play good ball and try to take some shots against his secondary. A&M defensively, they've got to have continued success at getting to the quarterback. They were able to get to Jackson Arnold last Saturday, and Blake Shapen, he's a pretty veteran guy. They're gonna have to get home to him to interrupt this passing offense. I think Mississippi State, they could come out with just some quick shots, not giving A&M's D-line enough time to get home. And yeah, A&M defensively is going to have to play some more sound football, which is what we expect from them every Saturday, but especially this Saturday because this Mississippi State team, I believe, is going to come in extremely motivated. And A&M has struggled with Mississippi State over the years. A&M has a 1-game edge over Mississippi State, 7-6, since joining the SEC in 2012. So they have a 1-game edge, and yeah, Mississippi State has been able to have some success against A&M. And so, yeah, A&M is going to have to play some very sound, very clean football, limit the turnovers. Marcel Reed going to have to play a clean game, and then on special teams, it would be great to see Randy Bond knock some through. He had a couple misses last week during the Auburn game. If he can clean that up, get back to his normal self, I think A&M will be able to find success Saturday night in front of a blackout crowd and what I expect to most likely be a sold out crowd. And that's what I got. That's what I got for this matchup. As yeah, Mississippi State set to take on our Texas A&M Aggies. Yeah, this is a matchup. Got to continue to find success. Got to continue to sustain it. Another big test here against who I believe to be a quality opponent, Mississippi State, and we'll see how it goes. Brings me to my final prediction. I've got A&M in this one, 34-24. A&M is currently a 14.5 point favorite. I think that's a little high. I think Mississippi State has the ability offensively to catch us. I believe Mississippi State has the opportunity to take some shots on us, stretch the field, and I think I could see them keeping this one close going into the fourth. But I got A&M 34-24, and that's what I got. I will see you guys back here for the post-game instant reaction episode. Thank you again for watching. I'm humbled. Thank you for your support. And as always, gig 'em and God bless.